Welcome to the Diecast Shepherd and tonight's edition of Brokebenny's Garage. As you can see here in Diamond Hill, restorations are underway. The church is already looking better. Grass is put down, the porch is fixed. Pretty soon they'll be open for services. But tonight we are here at Brokebenny's Garage and we're fixing up 3 cars to try them out against the case. First up, we'll have this custom V8 Vega, and then a Bone Shaker hardtop. And then last, we're going to see if we can get any speed out of this Mustang Mach 1. So, let's take them up against the case. You can see we got a fresh shipment of graphite in. So hopefully as we challenge the case, that graphite will dig in and see if we can find some speed in these cars. Here we are at the case. As you can see, there is only one open slot in the case left. So 2 cars here will not... Well, there will be 2 cars leaving without being in the case. It might be one of the cars that's already in the case. It might be 2 cars that are already in the case. Or it might be none of the cars that are already in the case. But we're going to fill up that last spot for sure. First up, let's try the Vega. The graphite helped us quite a bit from what it was, but still... I mean, the wheel spins, but it spins on the axle. It doesn't spin free from the axle. I know that because when I spin it, it spins this wheel too. Now this wheel spins, or is it the other way around? Okay. Anyway, one of these wheels is locked on the axle, and I can't seem to break it free. But we still got a pretty good roll out of it. So let's see. Shall I go right up against... I don't know. Let's go right up against the Challenger. Custom V8 Vega, Dodge Challenger from Matchbox. Let's see who holds their position, who gets that position. All right, well, the Vega quite handily gets past the Challenger. So let's see if the Vega can challenge this Ferrari up here. Well, all right. And I'll be honest, whoever thought they'd see the day when a Vega would beat a Ferrari. But that day is today. Let's go up to this van next. This Inside Edition, I'm pretty sure that's the name of that van. And see if he can hold his spot. Wow. He did better against the van than he did against the Ferrari. Maybe I need to go through this case and see what's what. But that's for another day. Let's move this Vega. We'll give him a shot against the Camaro. See if the Camaro and defend his spot. He did last week against the teetotaler. Let's see if he can do it again against the Vega. Whoa, that was a tight race. But once again, the Camaro says not today. Only car to take out that Camaro so far has been this Fisker's Karma. And the Camaro's hanging in the second spot. Pretty tough. All right, well, that means that the teetotaler is going to try to hold his position against this Vega. But if you remember from last week, if you want to break into the top three, you got to win in both lanes. All right, let's do it. All right, there you have it. A new top three, number 3 car in the case. I'll have to rearrange these and move everyone back. The case is full. Now you got to break in. Bone Shaker up next. All right. This Bone Shaker came out of a bag of assorted cars I picked up at a antique store for a couple of bucks, $3 I think, and it's pretty good shape, but did definitely benefit from the graphite. Oh, I didn't mention this is I believe this guy came out of a bunch of loose cars that a friend of mine gave me that she decided her kids didn't need anymore. And anyway, so that's that. The Mustang, I honestly don't know where that came from anymore. But anyway, secondhand for sure. But anyway, let's do this Bone Shaker. What do you think? Let's see. Let's make him earn his spot. Let's put him up against the Porsche. All right, no doubt about it, the Porsche will be leaving the case, but we'll give him a chance, get him graphited up for next week, let him try to get back in. We just got to find out where the Bone Shaker is going to end up. He defeated that Porsche pretty handy. Let's move him up to the Buick GSX. Wow, he didn't have any problems at all with that Buick. So let's go up against the Fiero. I haven't raced him in a while. Fiero and Bone Shaker. What do you think? Who's got it? All right, boys and girls, it don't get much closer than that. But after looking at the video footage, I have to give the edge to the the Bone Shaker. You see it on the front there? He's got that skull. And if you look, the chin of that skull sticks out just a little bit further than the front end of that car. And I'm pretty sure that he won by a skull chin. Bet you never heard that before. But the Bone Shaker's moving on to the next spot by a skull chin. All right, and that's going up against that Police Interceptor 40-something. Another fabulously close race, but believe it or not, not as close as the last race. The 40-something definitely had the edge there. So he holds off the Skull Shaker. And so Skull Shaker is going to finish in front of the Yellow Fiero, but behind the 40-something. All right, so last car. See if we can get him in the case. I think we will. He was pretty quick on that graphite. Be pretty cool if he'd go up against that Camaro. Nothing like a Camaro versus Mustang matchup. But he's got to earn that spot. Let's just see if he can get past the gatekeeper, that 57 Chevy. All right, and just like that, that 57 Chevy's booted out of the case. And this Mustang is in the case, but how far up can he go? It's a pretty car. Look at them flames, boys. Yeah, looks good. All right, I think we're going to give him a run at this Kenner Fast Ones Firebird. All right, I don't care who you are. There is nothing quite as cool as seeing two old-timey muscle cars coming down the track, or down the street for that matter. And they're side by side, and one, it's just a close race. Anyway, it was a close race, but clearly our Firebird held off our Mustang, so we're going to race that Mustang against another muscle car, the Buick GSX, 71 Buick GSX. All right, and that about wraps it up. The Mustang defeats the Buick GSX, but couldn't quite get past that Firebird. So, in you go. That bumps out the 57 Chevy and the Porsche, but pretty sure neither one of those cars have been graphited. So, next week we're going to give them a shot after having a little graphite. Hey, before we take off, I got to show you something. See this? This is cool. If y'all have heard of them pink slips, I finally picked one up today because at my Walmart, they were on clearance for $2. Sadly, I didn't have much more than $2, so I couldn't get the other models, but I wanted to get this one because I've been looking at this thing for a long time. Never bought one of these before, didn't know what I was going to get. I knew they have rubber tires, so I knew they're not racers. But what I didn't know is that they come with this, it's a tin. It's a metal tin. And of course you can fit them in there kind of like the old Matchbox, in the Matchbox, except this is metal. It's nice. It's pretty nice. It has a picture of the car on it and everything. And then the lid just slides off, so you can see. Of course, doing it one-handed isn't as easy. There we go. And the car's in there. Anyway, I got this Spider, Porsche 918 Spider. And really nice looking car. Shame it's got rubber tires on it. Maybe this is my message, my signal that I'm supposed to start experimenting with wheel swaps. But pretty nice. It's metal on the top, of course, but the plastic the bottom is plastic, so it's not really any different than Hot Wheels. I think normally they run like $4.97 at Walmart, here in the States anyway, in my area. So, it just looks nice. It just looks clean. And, I hate to think that the only reason is that it's $5 is because of rubber tires, because to me, you could take those rubber tires and pitch them. But anyway, maybe if I can put some some good wheels on there, maybe it'll be a nice car. So anyway, I don't know if y'all are familiar with these or not, but there's my little mini review of this particular one anyway. I like it. Some people think the colors are obnoxious, but I don't know. I kind of like it. All right. Let's see what we can do to close out our show today. We didn't have very many cool wrecks like we did with the teetotaler last week. So maybe we can try a street race. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the show today. Had some good close races, knocked some people out of our case, filled up the rest of our case. And next week, we'll see if these guys can get back in, plus maybe a couple more cars. And in the meantime, don't forget that the Straight Out of the Pack Track Attack for this week is on Thursday night. And in the meantime, be blessed. Have a great evening.